Oh, Jesus Louise. Why is this desert so cold around here? I thought the desert was supposed to be able to be, I don't know, hot maybe? Just like the summer vacation? I don't know. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mario here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. So last time we did manage to explore through Cascade Kingdom, to be able to grab ourselves about 15 or so power moons on that particular world. In this case, for that kingdom actually. And today for this episode, folks, is the fact that we're going to be moving on into the next kingdom in this game, which is the forms of the Sand Kingdom. So as you expected, there's gonna be some frozen parts here and there, like you got like icebergs and all that stuff. But even then though, that we need to solve this issue to see if how we can able to get rid of the ice. So an issue required to able to get into the next kingdom is the fact that we need to collect about 16 or so power moons to able to move on to the next kingdom. So, but I'm not gonna do that just yet, because as you expected from any other 3D Mario games Let's Plays, I'm about to be doing a 100% completion of this game as you expected. So, in fact, to me though, the 100% completion in Super Mario Odyssey is a lot more harder to do, unlike how it does it, or just like how it does in Super Mario Sunshine, to be able to collect through everything. I was looking from Desert Town, which is yet another power moon I've got. In this case, the first ever power moon I've ever got in the actual Sand Kingdom, so yeah, we'll just have to keep on finding more of them. So, if I recall correctly, that, yeah, we can't do anything in this water fountain at the moment because, you know, everything else is frozen at the moment. So, because of this though, we need to figure out who's responsible for all this cause of this mess. So, but I digress. But even then, you can also get into this little shop right there, which appears to be a cap store, or in this case a crazy cap shop. But I might as well actually gonna be saving that up until for later, because for now on, we have to explore and just grab ourselves, these abundance of power moons in addition to those region coins. As far as this desert town is concerned, or in this case a Sand Kingdom I should say, this particular town right here kind of reminds me of almost related to the Coco film, which is the latest Pixar film that just recently came out during the likes of, well, not too long ago, during the likes of, 3 months ago in the United States of America, and in the forms of a couple of days ago in UK, which even then, it does remind me of Coco, because of the, you know, the Mexico feel to it. Because of that, though, we can see those little townspeople like this, Mexico town kind of people like here, especially where the painting is concerned, with all this little wall graffiti stuff, as you can see. So, yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. So, and yeah, I believe that, when it first announced this particular game, Super Mario Odyssey, as you can see, back in during the likes of in the exact same, day as what Nintendo Switch is first revealed during that trailer, I believe they actually showcase off this particular world as the footage, so a rumble from the sandy floor. It's a bit like how it does in any other Mario Party minigames, specifically the ones in Mario Party 5, and specifically Mario Party 6, which is Something's Amiss, which, if you remember that minigame for Mario Party 6, when you know something's amiss, that you have to use the rumble feature and the controller right there. That's how these little submissions usually just comes in like that. So even then though that, you're gonna have to figure out where the power moon is gonna be at. So, and also very much like how it does in Mario Party slot machine minigame, especially with Bowser slots in Mario Party 2. Is the fact that we need to get ourselves the slots machine to able to actually get, I suggest you're able to actually get 3 in a row with the power moon symbols right there, because that actually represents the Sand Kingdom slots. But if you get like the coin, you just simply get coins, and you have to pay like 10 coins in order to actually you know, play the slot machine games after all. So yeah, there's not much else we can able to do for at the moment, but even then, I saw the craziest couple come racing past on their way to the ruins. I figure they are still out that way. Thanks for that little directions there, mister. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep on going. Look, Bowser's footprints. I can definitely see how the fact that there's a lot of Bowser's footprints across in this area. But before we actually get into this kinds of stuff, I'm able to actually come across into this way just because of the next objective, which appears to be we're gonna talk to that little Brett Cooper right there. Hey dude, you want up for the challenge? Because yeah, basically we need to able to actually deal with this mission is the fact that we need to go around the circle. And to be more specifically, this particular circle. And we need to walk on exactly the same lines or the exact same arrows as where it tells you to go. So I suggest you're able to tilt the analog stick slightly so it just makes this particular minigame really easy. However though, until you get to the halfway point of this particular minigame, chances are these arrows will go completely invisible, so you're gonna have to guess of the last half of the actual circle's direction is going to be at. So I'm not exactly sure if my score wasn't exactly perfect by any means, like, yeah, I was a bit off of that 1 point right there, but the game encourages me that I've got 97 points, so yeah, for the most part, the first revisit on that minigame, all we have to do is basically we need to get like 80 or so points. Walk in the desert. So, I say first because, well, I'll get into more details about the game until we get to the latest parts of it. So, for now, let's go ahead and explore for this particular ruins area, so you can know that we can able to actually do the main mission, not only the main mission itself, but also the additional ones as well. So, like these little region coins I'm about to be getting. Now, unlike how it does it in the Cascade Kingdom, that usually contains like 50 of these regional points, in this level, or in this case in this kingdom, only contains like 100. So there are some kingdoms that requires you to get like 50 regional coins, or 100 of them. So even though there's gonna be quite a lot. Whoa, we're sinking. Jump. Yeah, because we got ourselves an Cove in the Ruins mission has been accomplished, which appears to be at the next power moon that we've got. Now, of course, much like in any other Mario games, is that if you step onto this quicksand, you need to jump out of it just in case you don't die. So even then though that, well, of course you don't have to worry die too much, because even then though, as a result, as I mentioned this before, there's no one-ups in this game actually. So even then though, that makes it pretty obvious of how the fact that this game is kind of like the exact same way as it does it for Sonic Forces. Oh, by the way, the mission I've got is the forms of Hidden Room in the Flowing Sands, which appears to be another power moon that we've got. So, yeah, I believe if I recall correctly, among with the other kingdom, which we'll get into later on, I believe this is the only playable stage, and during the likes of back in E3 2017, if I could recall it that. It's like the only, well, you know. Man, I really love this ability. Up the lane, on the lane pillar. Sorry. Huh. Yeah, you can also manage to do this particular mission right here for two different methods, as you can see. For one, you can either just use the cap jump, or in this case, the long cap jump, like I did right there. Or two, is the fact that I can able to capture the bullet bill, which actually leads me to the power moon. So even then, though, there are a lot of ways you can able to deal with specific tricks in this game. There are some exceptions, but even then, though, that's the reason why how this game is such a has a tons of replay value to it. Like, you can definitely see why in the later parts of the game, inside a block is a hard place. But it's not that hard of a place, though, kind of thing about it, though, game. It's probably, you know... Okay, there's nothing in here at the moment, so even then, I don't know why I checked it in here. And as you expected, if you manage to capture the bullet bill, and then sometimes you'll just flash this red instantly, this means just that the bullet bill will explode. So even then, though, thankfully, though, you don't take damage after you got an explosion or what have you, although there are some exceptions though, mind you, which we'll get into that in a bit sooner or later. But for now, let's go ahead and grab these, you know, some regular coins as far as you might see. So even then, I probably need to grab more of them, so just in case I don't die too many times. Although, luckily though, there are some gold rings here and there, very much like, you know, how it does in the Cap Kingdom, as we already saw from the very beginning of the game. Sorry, I know for the fact that it has been quite a few days, or actually a couple of hours, to able to actually discuss upon things. Speaking of such, oh yeah, we actually come towards this little 2D section right there, which appears to be well, we have to dodge those bullet bills, obviously. So, and yeah, the game tells me I need to press the ZL button to crouch this time. So, there's no way you can able to use the directional pad, or in this case the D-pad if you will, because it's basically just an analog stick control focused, so that's pretty much obvious at this point. So anyways, if we ground pound to this little shiny part of this little box crate, then we get ourselves yet another power moon. You can either just reach it with the bullet bill capturing, or my personal favorite is to long jump here and boom, you can actually make it from here. From a crate in the ruins. And thank you for restoring my health, because that's actually pretty handy though, especially noticeable that if you kept on getting hit by certain enemies, especially with hazardous like this, thankfully though your health will restored. So on top of the stone archway. Not bad. 10 power moons all in one go, so that's a pretty good start. So even then, I will try my best to able to collect as many power moons as I can, with the forms of the longer amount of time I've recorded this. So even then, this is going to be the longest Mario games I've ever going to be playing through. So even then, among with Super Mario Galaxy buddy forms of the Mario's playthrough, or especially the Luigi's playthrough, which are a grand total of 2 different playthroughs. And in addition to Super Mario Galaxy 2 with the 122 gold stars and 120 green stars. I believe combined with all these 3D Mario games in hand, this is by far the longest, I repeat, the longest 3D Mario game we've ever going to have to come across into. I wonder if it's possible that if they're going to be announcing a new Super Mario Bros. Game on the Nintendo Switch at some point, which actually gives that game a little bit more longer compared to how it does it in the previous new Super Mario Bros. Games, I think. Although I may be wrong about that, but I digress. So obviously the main mission is to, obviously in this particular Sand Kingdom's main mission right here, is the fact that we need to go all the way up to the top of the tower. But before I'm able to actually accomplish that, first off I need to grab those region coins, and I kept on getting hit for some reason though by these bullet bills because I couldn't see them coming. Or especially noticeable, I was a bit too hasty when it comes to 2D Mario aspect. But regardless of anything else though, for this resistance, I don't think it's that too much noticeable, I don't feel like. But anyway, there's quite a few things I want to briefly mention about this, is the fact that, well, first off, before we get into this kind of stuff, here's this little alcove, Secret of the Moral, which appears to be if you go all the way to the left on that section right there, and you would able to find yourselves the next power moon. So speaking of such, here's another power moon that we've got, and now is the main mission that we're actually going to be focusing on top the highest tower. And if you accomplish those missions like this, basically it'll just force you to move on to the next point of the game, in this case the next point of the kingdom. Such as moon shrines in the sand, which in this case the second main mission of the majority of the missions. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of missions in this game, so believe me, there's gonna be a lot of times we're gonna have to able to actually go back and forth between these different kingdoms when we're able to revisit on those kinds of stuff. So yeah, this is the reason why we're gonna have to do this Let's Play during the likes of this year, because of how the fact that we have to concentrate on Super Mario 3D World's or actually think that Sonic and Sylvester already sort of tackled through, you know, Super Mario 3D Worlds during last year, and now I decided to able to do this game by my own, by the forms of the latest 3D Mario games. So yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab these region coins right there, and I've got 33 of them at the moment, so I was about 67 region coins left, so I don't know if I can manage to get them all during in time though, but I might as well will be until the later parts of the game. Don't worry, I will get to that one point or another, and I can just simply long jump from here and just skip the entire platforming section. Moai Hubbard, which even then, basically, now we can able to actually see these little moais, as you can see right there. They don't normally hurt you, they're just simply just trying to shove you, no matter what, if you manage to get close to them. So even then, if you manage to get closer to them, they'll start to run away. So even then, that makes it pretty obvious with this little enemies like this happens. So, anyways, so those footprints, where was he heading? Oh, I don't know about you, Cappy, but even then, we'll definitely find out until we investigate. But for now, the main premise of this mission right here is the fact that, taking notice from the Silver Star aspect from Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, and even especially noticeable with Super Mario 64 DS. And I believe also collecting those star chips to able to actually activate the launch star or the pole stars between both Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, that we get to collect those 5 moon shrines, which are basically very much like how it does with the silver stars from, you know, Super Mario 64 DS, and especially noticeable with, you know, silver stars from Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. I keep on mentioning those games because there's gonna be a lot of, like, very similar concepts when it comes to those missions in mind, so even then. The noticeable difference is obviously it's in power moons instead of, like, power stars in any awards. So, yeah, it's interesting in terms of how, you know, differently structured the game actually looked out to be. So, obviously you have to collect all 5 of them before the power moon appears, so we'll decide to go ahead and do that. And of course, if you probably expected, there's gonna be toxic water all over the place, so as you expected, much like in the new Super Mario Bros. Games, if you touch the poisonous water, you instantly die, so even then though, that makes it pretty obvious with how dangerous the poison water can be, just like in new Super Mario Bros. Series, and especially with Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, and even the deadly water in the forms of Super Mario Sunshine, and the quicksand from the likes of Super Mario 64, and also for the likes of, well, poison water from Super Mario 3D World, and you know the rest. Okay, so we now have got ourselves 13th power moon that we've got in this run-through of the Sand Kingdom, which is not that bad. And we've now opened up this particular door to that pyramid in the forms of the showdown on the provided pyramid. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and make our way to there. So that's why the fact that the Bowser's airship was there in the first place. So anyway, before we hit into this kind of stuff, we're gonna have to go ahead and go all the way to this hole over there, so we come across into another door. Which this way it leads us to the Moai course section. So even then though, I really loved capturing the Moai by the way, because normally you run really fast when you're able to actually just manage to not put your glasses on, which kind of like how it does it in the Sonic Adventure 2 upgrades between Knuckles and Rouge, both which consist of the sunglasses and especially the treasure scope. Oh shoot! There goes the first step of the playthrough, folks. I really do apologize that that was my fault. But this is what happens if you die in the actual game. No longer gonna have to deal with the 1-up system or anything like that, because you lose 10 coins after when you die. So even then though, it will waste your coins no matter what though, but even then though, that feels much more of an improvement than the likes of, like, say, you know, in the other 3D Mario games usually has the 1-up system. Like, every time you, like, specifically if you're actually gonna be turning off and turn on the game back on by the forms of Super Mario 64 and Super Mario 64 DS. Oh yeah, the mission right here is the Visible Maze, which that's why that actually represents the Moai capturing that we actually did measure before Matt. But even then though, that you can actually simply just press the Y button to able to turn on the glasses on, so that you can actually see what's up ahead from the visible paths. So, like, you can clearly say much so. So, yeah, that's what I can say about these Moais. So, yeah, again, it does remind me of the upgrades for Knuckles and Rouge from the likes of Sonic Adventure 2, both the sunglasses and especially the treasure scope, where those two upgrades behave exactly like as it sounds between those both. Like you can see, every time you activate one of those glasses, especially with the treasure scope on, you can actually definitely tell to find the these hidden items here and there, which I think is actually a pretty welcoming addition throughout in Sonic Adventure 2. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. So now we're done with that area from now on, because now we can actually hit into over here before we get into the inverted pyramid to able to get into this door over here, which actually leads us to the next secret area, where the main focus of this area right there is the fact that we need to capture the bullet bill most of the time. So that way we can able to be very careful right there, because obviously if you touch by the wall, when you capture the bullet bill, basically it will explode. So even then you do need to watch out. Plus you need to be very very careful when it comes to controlling this thing, because even then though that, yeah, that's what I can really tell. Of course, you can also usually use the, to shake the Pro Controller, as you can see, because much like Sonic Mania, and especially Sonic Forces especially, for those two Let's Plays, that's the only controller I can able sort of to use, because I found out that Nintendo Switch Pro Controller actually got themselves a much bigger, much more bigger, face buttons, which are X, Y, and A and B buttons, which are essentially big. The Bullet Bill Maze Side Path, which appears to be yet another Power Moon mission I've achieved. Okay, this part can be a little bit tricky, because much like how it does it in the Bubble Maze gimmick from Super Mario Galaxy 1, is the fact that we need to be very careful. Oh, no, 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 no. I failed that miserably. Yep, I failed on that. I'm not supposed to overturn myself, so just in case I don't want to lose my track here, so... yeah, let's try it again, shall we? See if we end out that I would able to hopefully try to bypass through everything here, so... I'm feeling a bit too hasty here, so... yep, I was a bit too hasty again. What effort. I don't know why I'm feeling like this, some sort of like this today, folks, because even then, because of that, I need to get a lot of practice on this game so that I would able to stop doing that. God dang. I don't know why I'm feeling so incredibly bad for this, section today. I think it's probably because, again, I was a bit too hasty at the moment, so, oh well. And of course, since we got ourselves one more Power Moon left to get into the next kingdom, but obviously we can't do it right now because we got to do some more things here and there too. So, you can never expect it that these videos, especially compared to Super Mario 3D World, those videos of parts uploading for this particular Let's Play is concerned, it will expecting to go even a lot more longer compared to how it does it for, you know, any other 3D Mario games we did recently tackle through. So, besides able to do a redo Let's Play of Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Galaxy and Super Luigi Galaxy all in one go. But even then, that we need to wait and see until when that happens, though, at least. So, anyway, though, so now we passed that area done after 3 amount of deaths in that section. The Bullet Bill Maze Breakthrough. And I believe that does it for that area. And as soon as we finish that area done, we can able to actually reach on top of the actual building. And we can able to actually just to say we can't do anything at the moment yet, because obviously that, you know, some of these obstacles, or especially with the objects, has been completely frozen by this little iceberg of any kind. But even then, though, that we can't do anything at the moment. So, considerably, we're actually on almost at the halfway point of the region coins collecting, which even then, seems like we're going for the game somewhat faster than the others, but at the same time, though, that when we get to the later missions of this game, don't expect that there's going to be a bit of frustrating moments here and there. Don't expect in that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is the fact that I'm going to be able to deal with this particular mission type, which forms of guiding the sheep all the way to the actual center of the circle. Oh, don't you dare. Turn back. Turn back. Oh, I get it, because of the sheep actually accidentally touched the cactus, which even then, that way just managed to scare them off eventually. So anyway, hopefully we can able to try to toss the sheep all the way to the actual center of the circle right there. And in order to actually deal with this mission right here is the fact that we need to able to basically put in 4 sheeps all in one go. So even then, that if you do that well enough, chances are that you would able to actually accomplish this mission. So yeah, that's what I can say. So anywho though, I've managed to recently discovered and during the likes of back in E3 2017 at one point, one of the YouTubers actually did manage to done a speed run throughs of Sand Kingdom, which I found was actually really dang cool. Oh yeah, the mission right here is the forms of Lost in the Luggage, which appears to be more accurately pile of junk scattered across, and there's actually a shiniest spot that we can able to actually ground pound on. And oh my god, that human looks awfully familiar. It looks kind of like how it does it from these human designs from the forms of the Soliana people from Sonic 06. I mean, jeez, that looks so horrendous in Sonic 06 actually. So, herding sheep in the Dones. Oh, you have to get like 3 sheeps in here. Sorry, my bad. I'm thinking of something else though, but that will definitely go for the later time. But for now, the next objective I might as well actually going to be doing with here is to talk to the Spanx here. So hopefully I might as well actually solve the riddle right there. What is the thieving monster is despairing from this land? Sand? Oh, no, I was thinking of something else. What he meant to say is the fact that, what the actual answer, what Bowser's actually going after for, mainly the wedding items, which are, well, the ring. So that way, it'll tell us about the fact that, there's gonna be some more details about it. But for now, we've managed to accomplish that at least. Spanx Treasure Vault, which not only contains the Power Moon itself, but also tons of coins too. Thankfully though, that getting those coins is just as more, you know, simple and easy as far as you might actually consider that. But even then though, there's gonna be one really cool place to actually grind for those coins. I mean, you can definitely tell when we get into the later parts of the game, or in this case in this particular Let's Play, as far as you guys will know. But, for now on, let's go ahead and get into this little sinking hole, which you might be thinking this might be a death syndrome, but it turns out it wasn't. Because it turns out it's going to be yet another secret area, but in forms of slippery physics, so even then, at least we got some ice elements to the mix. So, we got ourselves a desert, you know, sand kingdom to begin with, and it turns out we got ourselves the sandy, or in this case, just icy environment, so even then... Kind of strange though. But anyway, of course we do need to deal with, ice physics to survive, so even then though, that we can able to actually just to not slip off most of the time. And especially don't get crushed right there, because I can assuming this might actually be an instant death moment, just like how it does it in Super Mario Galaxy and, Super Mario Galaxy 2 syndrome. The fact that if you get crushed by the Thwomps exponentially, for example, especially with Thwomp or the Womp, in Super Mario Galaxy 2, you instantly crushed if you manage to, you instantly die if you get crushed, so... Anywho, I was hoping that, I won't... Oh, goodness gracious, that was close. If I can recall correctly, that, this particular location actually brings us a next Power Moon, which actually leads us to, which at the moment, I'm actually almost at the 20th, well, Power Moon mark, which even then though, that... Yeah, every time you collect the Power Moons in this game, as you can see on the top left corner, among with the coins count, especially with the region coins count, it tells you how much Power Moons you've gathered from during the kingdom, or during the actual run. So, but yeah, that's what I can usually just tell from that part. So, yeah, that's the next Power Moon right here. So you have to jump slightly until you get the Ice Cave Treasure Power Moon. Objective-wise. So I don't think there's anything up there because, well, it's way too high, first things first. So, and yeah, you can actually now select any of the checkpoint flags, which I've already done that, Cappy, from the very beginning of the game. So, no need to comment on me on that one, so I've already discussed on a lot of players out there. So, anyway, so now we've got 20 Power Moons in total right now, which is quite good. And hopefully we'll get even more, specifically... in this particular area, in a Jaxie's Ruins, which even then, we got ourselves the Treasure of Jaxie Ruins. Not bad. In addition to that, you can also manage to have the ability to actually ride onto the actual Jaxie itself. Which, in order to actually ride onto him, though, is the fact that we need to pay like 30 coins at first. I can assuming it's at first. And you can, the way you can able to control this particular character is the fact that you can able to actually hold down the B button to brake. You know, sometimes it feels really hard to control sometimes if you manage to do not let go of the brake button. But even then, I suggest you're able to do that just in case you won't able to lose control of yourself. Mainly, in this area we're going to be hitting to. Which I believe in this particular area right there is the fact that there's going to be a more focusing on... Oh my god, this reminds me of this particular mission from Super Mario Sunshine with all this deadly water over there. But except the fact that it's way too easy at this time around though, rather than just doing with this really stingy lily pad from the forms of Super Mario Sunshine. Because the only toughest part about that mission in Super Mario Sunshine is the fact that you need to do that particular... grabbing all the red coins within your first attempt, which even then, if you messed up at least once, chances are you die automatically due to this poisonous water of any kind, and plus, the lily pad doesn't last long during the likes of the poisonous water, I don't think, but that's just how it is. Jack C stunt driving. Not bad. Which by performing that mission's skills department is by basically grabbing all these musical notes on that one part right there. So yeah, that's all you're really trying to do. 65 region coins collected, so not too shabby for the most part. So I've got about like 35 region coins left. So hopefully you might as well get ourselves a chances here. So Jack C driver, which appears to be more accurately something similar to the taxi, but with the J instead of T. So that makes it pretty obvious what the alphabetical difference is. Also, one of the pointings out though right away is that every time you enter a pipe, there are two different methods you can actually enter a pipe this time. Normally you just press the crouch button when you're able to actually get onto the pipe. But in this game, this time around though, there's actually a quicker way you can able to enter a pipe. It's by simply you need to be in the dead center of the actual pipe itself, or the warp pipe. Sorry for a little bit of a tongue twisting in the end. Basically, you can now able to have the ability to actually traverse through the warp pipe so quicker now, which even then, that makes it a lot more faster kind of thing about it though, which I think is actually really cool, I should say. And also, as you can see right there, we got ourselves a compass on the top right corner, amongst with the health meter, which even then, that it doesn't appear during the likes of the E3 2017 version of the actual the compass feature in this particular version. But even then, in the final version, it actually contains the compass now, which even then, among with the menu system here and there too, like the plus and minus buttons can deal with, minus button can deal with the map. In addition to that though, the plus button can able to use as a menu. So that makes it pretty obvious of how the fact that while the UI in the forms of how the fact that in the UI in the E3 2017 version is kind of a little bit too, I don't know, not much detail, but in the final version they actually add something new to a change, which even then, yeah, I'm quite impressed about that. And of course we got ourselves the anti-gravity section, just like how it does it in the forms of Bowser's Dark Matter plant, from the forms of Super Mario Galaxy the first game, and especially with the Bowser's Star Reactor in Super Mario Galaxy as well. And basically you get out to deal with, and oh yeah, and also the right side down galaxy, and especially upside dizzy galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy 2, that you get out to deal with the anti-gravity section, where you have to go from the ceiling all to the ground. So even then though, it does remind me of those particular stuff. And if we go over here, then we get ourselves the next power mode, which we get Secret of the Inverted Moral, which is basically the exact same thing as it does it for the actual tallest tower, but except the fact that we have to go all the way to the right instead of left. Which okay, so before we continue, there's gonna be a secret up there. Whenever I first got into this particular kingdom for the first time actually, from my own personal experience of this game, I honestly, God forbid, I actually did miss out those region coins from the very beginning of the game, because I was using the speedrun tactics at one point or another for this game, but then it turns out I actually missed out on those 3 region coins right there, so that was totally a little bit of an outmissive curve, because unlike the regular coins, that is very simple to get, but the region coins are a little bit more harder to find, I think, which even then, that makes it pretty obvious. If you wait all the way over there, well, not to mention it gives us like a plenty of coins to begin with, but also another power moon, which in this case, a hidden room in the inverted pyramid. I know, apologize for the dialogue has gone really messy or jumbled up mess at the moment, but even then, that's all as far as we can go. Anyway, now we need to do that particular technique again, but this time around though, we need to go straight forward. So even then though, that because we've already done through the hidden room in the inverted pyramid mission type, and we can just simply use those flowers to able to actually act out like a spring, or essentially kind of like how it does it in new forms of, well, just a bungee trampoline for ever since New Super Mario Bros. On Nintendo DS. So, well, there goes the Bowser's airship right there. But before we get into those parts actually, and then we grab the region coins, I believe the region coins are going to be at the behind the actual the dead center of the actual inverted pyramid top section, which actually leads me to 71 region coins now. Of course, we got ourselves the Brutal gang again, ever since the very beginning. Looking for a binding band, champs? Too bad the boss has it now. I was too late. And you guys aren't invited to the wedding. Oh, come on, that would be really unfair, Mrs. Madam. So anyways, here we go with the next Brutal's fight, and obviously forms of, well, I can't remember her name very well, so I must apologize to her, so incredibly if I botched it. So anyway, basically in this particular battle, it's very simple. We need to basically use Cappy to actually toss the bomb right back at her. So even though every time you do that, then chances are you would able to actually get, have the chance to able to bonk onto her head, just like how it does it in the forms of the previous boss fight, which appears to be, well, another brutal guy, which I haven't sort of known their name yet, which even then, no, I do apologize for that, but still. So yeah, if you keep on doing that a multitude of times, then this boss shouldn't be that much trouble. So even then, though, the only time you do need to worry about though is the forms of sometimes she actually drops the bombs into the actual arena, which actually causes the actual lava spots, which even then though, that touching the lava is pretty dangerous, obviously for the 3D Mario games if you ever played them before, but you know, you get the idea. And this time around though, she only has like 3 hits instead of 2, unlike the other Brutal's boss. So there we go, there's our multi-moon right there, which appears to be the second multi-moon in the game. So now we actually get ourselves, well, I don't remember how much power moons I might as well get in this one video though, but even then though, we'll find out until we actually get into this kinds of stuff. Alright, as soon as you think this world is actually, or the kingdom rather, is completed, well, as soon as this little transmission screen is concerned as will go, it turns out it wasn't over yet, because apparently the actual Sand Kingdom is now nighttime. And now the inverted pyramid is now rising up to the skies. And we got ourselves, I believe, the next objective. The hole in the desert. Gee, I wonder what that's gonna lead us to. But we'll never know until the next video, I'm afraid. That brutal show slowed us down a bit, but we still rank up power moons. How odd. The inverted pyramid is floating, and it's gonna so much colder. Is this more of the Bowser's doing? I say he does make trouble, doesn't he? Tell me about it, Cappy. Tell me about it. So, at the moment I've got about 28 power moons, which actually, if I put those all in one go, right here, then this will actually lead us to, I believe, 44 power moons. Which even then, though, if I can release it counting for that. So, there we go, we've inserted that all in. Yeah, 44 power moons. So now we got ourselves an Odyssey to power it up. But I'm not going to go into the next kingdom just yet, though, because obviously I'm going to go for 100% completion of this game after all. If you think so, then we're actually going to be taking the path of your choice. We can either go into the Lake Kingdom or the Wooded Kingdom. I played this game before. Like, at first, of my first playthrough, I managed to go for the Lake Kingdom first. But then this time around, though, in my actual playthrough, I decided to go for the Wooded Kingdom next. So, yeah, I'm actually going to be ending things off here, folks. So, tune me next time on Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey. Is the fact that we're going to be getting him back into Sand Kingdom and do some more things. So, see you guys next time. Later, fellas.